And good morning. Good Saturday morning. Lanny, we missed you last week being here.
Wow.
This buzz that's in my headset lasted the whole show. And it is as loud as it's ever been right now.
You got it now?
Yes.
Just in your headset?
I don't know.
No, it's at mine too. It's worse than usual.
Yeah, it is. It's louder than usual. And hopefully the listeners.
I don't hear a thing in my
There
headset.
you go, Mike. Mike's got the best deal.
I got the best headset.
It is. Last week it was on there, but it wasn't as loud. It's taken over this morning though, and hopefully the listeners can't hear it, and I don't think they can. So it is a beautiful Saturday morning as
Well, we can just leave them off
Easter weekend.
if they can't hear it.
If you don't have,
Yeah.
and I'll check it, but
Yeah.
if you don't have a call coming, you don't.
Yeah.
But, I don't know why I'm still
Getting hot into the baseball season now. You know,
Mhm.
Major League Baseball season.
Yes.
Basketball is winding down as far as college basketball. It's over. The NBA playoffs are starting. The 2 months, is it right? About 2 months of NBA playoffs
yeah.
is
Mid-June, right?
starting to crank up. And I want Brett to explain to me, and I think I know the format now in the NBA. You got 4 playing games?
It's gone.
It is?
It was
Yeah.
Mike. It was
It's
Mike.
good.
Gotcha. 4 playing games?
Uh,
Or 2?
3 on each side.
3
Yeah.
on each side.
Yeah, they're over.
6, yeah.
They're over.
And it's
They're
just
over.
one game, a play-in game, not 2 out of 3 or anything like that.
It's not a series.
No.
7 plays 8, the winner's in.
Right, okay.
9 plays 10, the winner gets to play the loser of 7-8 for the last spot.
And gets us down to 16.
So if you're 7 or 8, you get 2 chances to win a game,
Okay.
which the Hawks had, and they lost both of them.
Right. All right.
How
If
about
you're-
the Mavs?
If you're 9 or 10, you have to win 2 games. The Mavs lost last night to Memphis. So they're-
Tumultuous year comes to an end.
This is hilarious now. Now, I wondered if the listeners could hear our buzz, Lanny. Mike Painter says, no buzzing sound on 107.5. Jason says, yes, we've got the buzz here on YouTube.
Oh.
Well,
But it's gone now. Yeah, it's gone now. But so one way of listening, yes. One way of listening, no. But nonetheless, it's out of here now, and now we know how to get rid of it in the future. So I'm just looking, Brett. The reason I brought this up, the first thing on my screen this morning, Mike's probably looking at it as well, is the Heat beating the Hawks last night, 123-114 to take a 2-0 series lead. How many series?
No, that's not right.
Okay.
That's not a series.
Okay.
I don't know why it says that.
You see it too?
No.
Oh.
No, I don't.
Yep.
Well, Heat 2-0.
That's what it
Hawks
said.
0-2.
Okay, yeah, the Heat are 2-0 in the play-in. The Heat were the 10 seed. They had to win 2 games. They weren't both against Atlanta.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Miami beat Chicago, and then they beat Atlanta, and that got them the 8 seed.
So
And
let's
now
just-
they play Cleveland.
Since we take 110 teams in the NCAA tournament, let's just go ahead and let the NBA let everybody in the way this is working. If you're going to play-in games, let them all play in.
Right.
Right, more money. Eventually,
right.
eventually there'll be more. That is very confusing. I didn't.
We can get the
you know,
playoffs into July
Yeah,
for the 4th.
didn't realize it was you had to win 2 play-in games.
I just told you, if you're a 7 or 8, you
7
only
or
have to
8,
win
you just
1.
win
Right,
one.
right.
If you're 9 or 10, you have to win 2.
Yeah. The Warriors only had to win the 1.
Right.
You like
Yeah.
it that way?
I don't care.
Okay.
Doesn't bother me.
As long as the Lakers are in.
I don't really see why
Right.
they do it, because the 9 or 10 seed's they're not going anywhere, even if
No.
they do get in.
No.
So okay, that was my next question. You're telling me that the Heat, what were they seeded?
10.
10.
So they get the 8 seed by winning those 2 games. So they play Cleveland in the first round.
No chance.
I don't think so.
How many games?
They're all 7
No,
now.
I know how many they beat them in.
5.
5.
Yeah.
I just watched a little bit of Miami, and that's the reason I was asking. I thought they looked pretty good. So
Was it last night?
no, it was. Well, maybe it was last night.
Well, I was going to say if they look good, it might be because they were playing
opponent.
Atlanta
Yeah, it was recent. It was one of the playing
or
games.
Chicago on Wednesday.
So heading in here, who is there? a prohibitive favorite to win the Boston. You told me would be your pick to
the defending
to win it.
champs.
It's hard to go back to back, even though many teams do it. It's
Oklahoma
hard to
City
do.
had the best record,
Yeah,
Right.
but
And
they
of
would
course
have
Cleveland.
they would have a tougher road. The West just
West
has
is the
way
best.
more good teams than the East.
Yeah.
All right, Mike. You said, of course, Cleveland. You said, of
Well, I mean,
course,
they got a great
Cleveland.
record. I mean,
Okay, name me a roster player. Name a player on the roster.
You got me, but I just know how many they won. What 60-some games?
64-18.
No,
That's
I
all
know
I'm
Mike and
saying.
I don't follow it near as close, but
No,
I was just
I can't
thinking,
name
I
anybody.
can't name one. LeBron's not still there, is he?
Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell,
Yeah,
their
Donovan
best player.
Mitchell, I have heard of
Yep,
him.
good player. Oh yeah. Where was his college days?
Louisville.
Or day? Pretty much a day. Was he one and done?
I think so.
I think so too. Louisville, Donovan Mitchell.
Darius Garland
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm in the dark.
played at Vanderbilt. Evan Mobley out of Southern Cal.
Southern Cal. Remember him? He was a big man. Yeah.
DeAndre Hunter out of Virginia.
Yeah.
They just got him at the trade deadline this year. Ty Jerome, also out of Virginia.
Yeah.
Mm.
Jerome. He
With that many Virginia players, you got to be averaging at least 45 points a game.
their style of play. It'd make Tony Bennett proud.
Tony Bennett, Jim Larinaga. I'm just trying to think of some of those coaches that jumped ship whenever
Oh,
Now, those guys
we
were
got to NIL.
Whole generation
on their
left the
national title
ACC.
team.
Were they?
The year that they actually could score some points.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Ty Jerome was on that.
Although
team.
they were still a fraud and got gifted the national championship.
Mm-hmm.
In what way? I can't remember. You have to help me.
Did they play
I just
Texas
thought-
Tech?
Just the bracket, or
No, I just
Weak
thought
bracket?
the refs gave
Yeah.
it to them
Oh,
a couple
okay.
games in a row.
Yeah, they did win some.
They beat Purdue in the regional final.
hope Lavelle Hall's not listening this morning. He'll be giving you a call.
That's right. Hey, that national title was legit.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about Virginia though, and who is the head coach at Virginia these days?
Well, of course, they had an they had an interim coach this past year when Bennett resigned before the season even started or retired. Who are they getting?
Is he still the interim?
Ryan Odom,
Ryan Odom. He's
Dave
one of the-
Odom's son.
Yeah, he's one of the rising stars. Where was he before? I mean, he's considered a promising, fairly young
I'm guessing
coach.
he was
He's
there at
40.
some point. You know.
Yeah, he was there. Yeah.
I'm guessing he was. He did some at Virginia.
Yeah, I don't remember what his last.
What was
Last
his last
stop was.
stop?
Yeah. So we don't know yet if he's been named the head coach. though.
He is.
He
Yeah,
is,
Is he?
yeah.
Okay. He is. The
He
head
was at
coach now.
VCU.
Okay.
VCU.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Didn't they win a game in the tournament? I'm trying to remember.
I'm just saying. I'm
Yeah, I
interested
can't
in knowing
remember.
how they did last year. How Virginia.
Well, they were
finished
bad
last
like
year.
the rest, most of the rest of the ACC.
Lenny says, "Good morning, STG guys. The state of West Virginia is suing the NBA
Oh,
for being left out of the play-in game."
no.
Okay. The state of West Virginia is suing the NBA.
Well, I thought they were going to
being
sue the
left out of it.
NCAA selection committee for leaving West Virginia out of the tournament.
Oh, that might be maybe.
That could be what you're talking about.
Well, I'm reading it. I'm not talking about it. I'm
Oh,
reading
you're reading what
it.
he said,
Yes. Yes.
I
So
don't know.
we'll see if he changes it to college basketball or the NCAA instead of
Yeah.
the NBA.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're going to get anywhere by suing the NBA
Yeah,
for not getting in
I don't think so
in that
either.
tournament.
Does Morgantown have a team in the NBA?
I wouldn't think so. Beautiful place though.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful town.
Yeah,
Brett,
mountainous.
are there? Here's the question because I don't know. Are there play-in games remaining?
No,
No.
ended last night.
Ended last
So
night.
now we're ready for the real deal.
And the 4 series start today and 4 start tomorrow.
That's the way it ought to be, right? I mean, I like that. Let's go ahead and get them rolling.
Yep.
And give me the matchups if you know them right off the top of your head.
Yeah, in the East, Milwaukee, Indiana. Detroit and the Knicks, Orlando and Boston, and Miami, Cleveland. And then in the West,
Detroit and the Knicks, the best one in that foursome. Detroit's made some noise this year, right?
yeah, and those two teams will fight. That would be one to watch. Yeah,
They'll literally
Yeah.
fight.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
yeah, that would. If you want to see a good fight, watch that series.
Yeah, go to a fight and a basketball game breaks out.
And Milwaukee, Indiana, I think that could be the best series
Okay.
in the East. And then in the West, I mean, they could all be good. Clippers, Nuggets start today, and Lakers, Timberwolves. And then starting tomorrow, Memphis and Oklahoma City, and Golden State, Houston.
Okay. Now you've told me that
And those two teams will fight too.
will they?
Golden State and Houston. Yeah.
Good. Golden State fight anybody, won't they?
Draymond will.
Draymond will. Yeah. Still the madman.
Yep.
And Jimmy Butler. He likes to
I don't have one reason.
act like he wants to fight. I don't know if he.
I don't have one reason. Not one reason to pull for Golden State. Not one. As long as one of the other 15 teams win, I'm perfectly satisfied.
Is that because of Draymond?
It's three people.
Steph.
Yep. Draymond, Steph, and Butler. Because Butler the way he left,
Yeah.
Another one that's all about him. So
Mm-hmm.
let's see. Jason says the stats from the play-in games do not count in the official NBA record book. Well, that's silly to me. He said the Miami Heat made history becoming the first 10 seed to win 2 play-in games to make the playoffs. So, and why would they not? How can you not count those in the record books? They're NBA games. Are they not sanctioned games? Lenny says if you can't make the NCAA tournament, then sue the NBA to get in their play-in game. I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that's the route they should have taken there. Who's your Final Four, Brett?
Oh, we'll have to look at the bracket and see.
If you had to pick today to see.
And Boston and Cleveland seems pretty obvious in the East.
So you think Cleveland can keep it up?
Yeah.
Maintain?
Yeah.
Okay.
In the West, man, I'll go Lakers and Thunder.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I'm going.
That's what you're hoping for, right? Or at least Lakers anyway, right?
Yeah.
So,
But Minnesota could beat the Lakers in this first round. That's a tough matchup.
yeah. Now you got to help me out. My memory is weak this morning, but I'm thinking back. Oklahoma City, the guy that played there so many years, the good guard.
Seattle,
Westbrook.
San Francisco too?
And where is he now?
I'm talking about,
Denver.
yeah.
Okay. And his name, tell me who I'm talking
Russell
about.
Westbrook.
Russell
Yeah.
Westbrook.
Yeah. So he's with Denver.
Yeah.
And Denver has Joker.
Yeah.
And you didn't mention Denver? Don't think they can make the finals?
I wouldn't be
Or
shocked.
semifinals or whatever, the Final Four?
But I kind of think they lose the first round to the Clippers.
Mm.
The Clippers are playing really good right now, and Kawhi seems
got Kawhi.
healthy.
Yeah.
Mm.
And yeah, they're tough. That should be a good series. But I would pick the Clippers.
I wonder
in that
what
series.
Denver's record was after they fired the coach. So close. I mean, I wonder how they've
After
handled
that, yeah, after he's been let go.
Yeah.
How many? Well, they didn't have many games
I mean,
left.
not many
did they?
games left.
Maybe 4 or 5
Yeah.
left.
Yeah, they won their last 3. They had lost 4 in a row before that. So, but I don't know. I don't know how many they had left when he was fired.
From what you know in the background, do you think they made the right move?
No, I don't know. I mean, it sounds like there were a lot of unhappy players.
There's a lot of unhappy players in that locker room. It's probably the best move.
I
Go ahead and
guess
get it
so,
done.
but-
Get it done, get it over with. I mean, they should cruise in the first round anyway, right? in the first round?
No.
No? Okay.
Denver. I just
Okay.
said I think
Got
the Clippers
through
are going to
saying
beat them.
Clippers
Okay.
might beat them.
Okay. We shall see.
Denver's the 4 seed.
Yep. Jason says Denver only had 3 games remaining when they fired Mike Malone.
Yeah, I knew
So
it was
just
late.
Three games.
So they won them all.
Won them all. Hey. Do we know who is stepped in? Did you say that?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
As an assistant.
Yeah.
They fired a GM too, didn't they?
Yeah. Fired a GM.
Reading some of the headlines, Ja and the Braves' difficult injury leads to Grizzlies into the playoffs. What'd he do? Did the injury happen last night?
I don't know.
Yeah. Let's see. Mavs proud as tumultuous year ends in play-in.
Yep.
Anything there? Battle-tested Heat make playoff.
Just the worst trade ever, right?
Make play-in
I've heard
history
that.
as a 10 seed. That's what Jason's just telling us a few minutes ago.
Oh, it says Morant sprained his ankle in the first play-in game when they lost to Golden State.
Okay.
But then he played last night.
I got you. Rick Adelman's son, Jason says, is the interim coach in Denver.
Yeah, that's right. I think
Rick Adelman's
brought
son.
up last week.
Okay. He's been on the staff as an assistant coach along the way here. So, hey, it's giving other people a shot, right? Giving them a chance.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how old he'd be. He'd probably be 40, wouldn't
43.
he? 43.
Now, he's been there since 2017 as an assistant.
Okay. Well, deserves a chance. What's happened to Popovich? Source says Popovich out of the hospital after incident. Hadn't heard.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, he had a stroke a while back,
Yep.
and
Yeah, he did.
How old is he now?
He's up there. He's high 70s, maybe.
Okay. Been around a long time. You know.
No.
yeah, 76.
And Brett, you can help me with this one. Lucas says it's just sad as he weighs in on Harrison talk.
Well, Harrison is
that
the
the
Mavericks GM,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
Talking about why they got rid of him or whatever reason.
I don't know.
Okay. It probably has something to do with that, I would guess.
Yeah.
The next headline I got, and we're going to get into some Major League Baseball here in a little bit, but the next one I see says Cubs blow lead in 10-run eighth inning. Storm back in thriller.
Yeah, I think they won 12-10.
Okay.
They beat Arizona, or 13-11 was the final.
So Arizona's the ones that had the 10-run. I think I heard something about this the other day. It's a trivia, a trivia question said that they might have been the first team to ever score 10 runs in an inning and not win. Now, for some reason, it's ringing in my head. They were the third team to do that. I don't know, but that would be rare to score 10 runs in an inning and not win the game.
The Cubs were up 7-1. Arizona scored 10 in the 8th, and then the Cubs scored 6 in the bottom of the 8th.
Wow. How long was that inning? Hour and a half?
Yeah, probably.
I mean, it possibly could have been.
Yeah, probably a lot of pitching changes.
Possibly, yeah. Yep. Quarterback Brown returns to Purdue after brief UNC stint.
Yeah, he was there for spring practice and the spring game, but now he's hightailing it back to Lafayette.
West Lafayette.
West Lafayette.
Let's not leave out
yeah,
West.
That's right.
So I don't know anything about that story. I'm guessing
Yeah. Redshirt sophomore.
maybe he just realized, hey, that's not going to work out for me, something like that, you know.
Transferred back to Purdue.
Transfer back to Purdue. A thing I saw yesterday, I can't remember if it was on Bleacher Report or ESPN or where I saw it, but Belichick is sharing like a number of emails he gets with his girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
What role has she got at
Well, that's right.
UNC?
She has a role
Yeah, I know.
with the program. I forget what it is.
I don't know. Lanny keeps hollering, but I can't hear. All I can hear is he's hollering. But go ahead and tell me what you said.
She's like the COO.
The COO.
COO.
Yep. The Chief Operating Officer.
Hey, we
Instead
had to
of-
give her a job at the program, right?
Yeah. Is Belichick's whole family now? I mean, like, son, grandkids, aunts, uncles.
Everybody.
All of them's got
Who's
jobs
on
now
the staff.
at UNC Belichick.
Well, yeah, I read some column that she thought that was pretty outrageous, but the other thing was retire Shadur Sanders' number at Colorado now? Already?
I don't know. That was the topic this week, and who brought that up?
I don't know. I just read it, and
They did, didn't
Oh, they already did it?
Already did.
they? Him and Travis Hunter.
Him and Travis Hunter.
Mm.
I don't know. Of course,
Okay.
I know
Well, think about this: the list of Colorado jerseys that are retired is probably
retirees
short.
not that long.
Maybe
is it?
Cordell Stewart.
Yeah, I can't think.
Slash.
Yeah.
What was the good receiver? Westbrook, back in the day at Colorado.
Michael Westbrook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who liked to fight once he became a.
Well, who was the
wasn't he
running?
one
It
of
was a running
Redskins,
back.
right?
Rashawn Salam.
Rashawn Salam.
Rashawn Salam, the running back. Yeah.
His number is retired.
Is Cordell's?
But
Should
he's not
be.
on this list.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to think of iconic players coming out of Colorado.
Well,
The other
it won't
other
be for
ones
long.
on here
No.
are from a long time ago.
But I'm just saying, I mean, I guess the whole point would being that Sanders has come in and revived a bad program, and these two guys were the architects of that.
Sure.
Right?
I got no problem with it. They
Okay.
want to retire the jersey after the years that they had. And I mean, that's up to each individual school to me. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and, how you do it and how
And,
you go about
and
it.
Hunter did
Not a
win the
problem.
Heisman, so I guess that's legitimate for
Mhm.
sure.
I didn't
Did-
like his comments this week though.
Did they not win a national title with
Mhm.
Cordell Stewart?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how could his number not be
Yeah.
retired?
Yeah, they won the national championship. It was split. at
Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech.
Yeah, it was 90 or 91,
Now-
somewhere around there.
There was one little tidbit of information about that national championship.
Was
Yeah,
that the
they
5
actually-
down?
They got
Fifth
5 downs.
Fifth down against Nebraska.
Well, it's
Yeah.
kind of like Virginia's national title in basketball.
They get 5 downs.
yeah.
3 technical free throws at the end, maybe instead of 2.
Yeah.
NBA rule: 3 to make 2. Remember that, Mike? Back in the day. 3 shots to make 2.
3 shots to make 2.
Yeah, that's a serious penalty. You know, wouldn't have done some of the NBA players. Shaq might have struggled at that.
Yeah, he
what's
would've.
the guy's name that is the worst free throw shooter in the history? Simmons. Is that? Or,
I don't know. Oh,
Oh.
Ben Simmons?
yeah,
He
is that
might
it?
be. I don't know.
The one that couldn't make one at all, hardly. He struggled, and I think I don't know. It seemed like he went to a psychiatrist about it or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that. It was just all in the mind or whatever.
Yeah.
Don't know.
His is 59% for his career. There's got to be lower ones
Oh
than
yeah,
that.
there you go. That's not who it is then. That's not.
No, I would guess it was a big man, a 7-footer.
Yeah.
Yeah, free throws. How about the one NCAA game that was absolutely blown by a team at the free throw line? Texas Tech would have put Florida out had they been able to make a free throw.
Florida could have went out twice.
They could have went out twice.
Early.
Ben Wallace,
Ben Wallace, that's who I was thinking of.
41%.
41. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if the three to make 2 would have just took up more time.
Yeah.
3 to make 2. Wow.
The people. Brett, you can't remember the 3 to make 2, can you? That's,
No,
Nah.
it does.
That goes back probably, like 30, 40 years then.
Yeah, at least.
Um,
Who was the most unorthodox free throw shooter you ever saw? Rick Barry with
No.
the underhand?
no, because he was hitting. Well, it's
He hit-
unorthodox, but he was hitting them.
He was hitting
You
them.
know, That's just the ones, I mean,
Now, Shaq, he went underhand.
didn't he shoot? No, well, he might have tried it for a while, but didn't he shoot with just one hand? That's the
Yeah,
ones. that-
one hand, that's right.
Who's the
That
guy way
big
back in the
mitt.
day shot with one hand? Back with the Sixers.
Sixers.
I'm talking about in the 70s and 80s.
Moses Malone? I don't know. I'm just guessing that.
It seemed like it was somebody else other than Moses. Vinny. Lenny says Ryan Odom was at VCU,
Yeah.
but one of his greatest moments was coaching number 16 UMBC, Baltimore County,
That's
Maryland,
right.
Baltimore County, to victory over his current team, Virginia, in the NCAA tournament.
First upset of a 1 seed by 6.
So instead of that being if you can't beat them, join them
Yeah.
by the coach, the
Yeah.
team decided to do it.
Mhm.
If you can't beat him, join him.
Join
Bring him
Bring
in.
him in.
Bring him in.
I think he'll. I think he'll be all right there. I mean, there's a couple coaches coming into the ACC that I think they know how to play the portal. They're familiar. They're younger, and they're better at playing the current game. The guy at NC State, was it Will Wade?
Yeah.
I think he's probably going to do okay.
Mm.
And we
He's
know
also-
we already
he's
got
also,
one good year out of Pat Kelsey at Louisville.
Yeah, Pat Kelsey's going to be great
Yeah.
at Louisville. Will Wade, he also coached at VCU for a few years.
And of course,
Will Wade did.
Yeah.
Stepping stone, isn't it? VCU.
Yeah. Well, he went to LSU after VCU.
Yeah, but the ultimate stepping stone.
And
1
out
year,
NC.
McNeese
McNeese
State in
State.
between.
yeah, they beat Clemson. Big up, if you can call it a big upset in the tournament.
Sure.
I don't know. I don't really know how he did at LSU, but
I think they were competitive, but when he was at LSU,
they did have
it was Kentucky and everybody else.
they had a 25-5 year.
At LSU.
Yeah,
Wow.
his second year.
Yeah, he can obviously get players.
Lost in the
Sometimes
Sweet
illegally,
16.
and that's why he got fired. What was his comment that he was overheard with the wiretapping? A strong-assed offer, something like that. Strong-assed offer.
Well, what's the what can recruiting today? What can you do? It's illegal.
I don't know of anything. It's
Well, I'm
all-
sure there are. I'm sure there are things.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's certain times you can't talk
Can't
to
talk to
players,
them,
especially players that at other schools.
yeah.
Lenny says Wade followed Shaka Smart,
Shaka Smart.
who has jumped around a little bit, but continued to be a good coach. Which school's he at right now?
Marquette.
Marquette now.
Yeah, I know.
And in
They-
between, he had Texas.
Yeah,
Texas.
Mm. Yep.
Yeah, he gets the big-time jobs.
Yeah. Yep. All right, we're going to go through the schedule here real quick, and then we'll take our first time out. Milwaukee at Indiana, 1 o'clock today. L.A., I'm assuming the Clippers, right, Brad, at Denver,
yeah.
3:30, followed by Detroit and the New York Knicks. I think I'm going to pay some attention to that one because, I don't know if the two teams don't like each other, but I just don't think Detroit likes anybody that they're facing.
No, and especially Isaiah Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's just looking for a fight at all times. He's an old school Piston.
So could this be one of those I'm going to a fight and a basketball game broke out?
Yeah,
Because you know there at least going to be one fight. There will be at least one fight in the series.
I would think so.
Yeah, maybe multiples. Minnesota at Los Angeles Lakers tonight at 8:30. Getting you primetime television there, Brett.
Yeah.
The first three games ESPN, the final one tonight ABC. Tomorrow, Sunday afternoon, 1 o'clock, Memphis. This is when I really do start paying close attention to what's going on. I like the playoff games, just especially those weekends where there are so many on at a time. Oklahoma City will be hosting Memphis, 1 o'clock on Sunday, followed by Orlando at Boston at 3:30, Miami at Cleveland, TNT. So we'll get to see Barkley and crew tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. Then at 9:30, Golden State at Houston. So Houston is the higher seed here because Golden State was in a play-in, right?
Yeah, Houston's the 2.
The 2. What's the chances? Oh, I'll just say, who do you like in this series? So it's a 2 and a 7.
Yeah.
And the 7 may be favored.
I would take Golden State in 7. I mean, I think it's a pretty even matchup.
Tell me some Houston's guys. Know any? Hakeem Olajuwon.
Yeah. Dylan Brooks, who
Clyde Drexler still there.
nobody
That's right.
likes.
Nobody likes.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
like
man.
the lesser known version of Draymond.
Mm.
Jalen Green, Sengun, he's the center, foreign player. Fred Van Vliet,
Oh yeah.
Amen Thompson. I mean, they're a lot of them are young guys. Jabari Smith, who came out of Auburn a few years ago.
Now Van Fleet was with Toronto.
Yeah.
The title run.
Yeah. But they're a young team, and pretty big. A different style than Golden State, and they like to beat you up too.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, the odds of Draymond will be in at least 2 fisticuffs.
Well, with Draymond and Dylan Brooks,
Somebody will be suspended.
yeah, I mean there could be some fireworks in that series.
So while there's bets, you can bet on any of these games. I would love to see some of the prop bets because I bet you, when will Draymond's first fight be? Will it be game 1, third quarter?
Yeah, right.
I mean,
Get it down even to the quarter. Yeah.
So many different things you could bet on for him.
Yeah.
When will the Pistons first throw a punch?
And see, Draymond, I think now that it's the playoffs and he feels like the team's got a chance, he might try to control himself a little more.
Yeah.
Than
I thought he
usual.
had always tried.
But the Pistons are young, and this is their first time in the playoffs for a lot of these guys, and I could see them fighting just first quarter of game 1.
And their opponent is
The Knicks.
the Knicks, and you said there's no love lost there anyway, right? Is that
No,
right?
no, they don't like
No.
each other, and I don't think anybody really likes Detroit.
Yeah.
But I really do like
Detroit
Cade
maintaining their
Cunningham.
proud tradition, right? From the old days, remember? Who was the hatchet man for the old Pistons?
Dumars was one.
Bill
Lambier was
Lambier.
one.
Lambier is the guy I'm thinking about.
Yeah. Last week, I think it was on Sunday afternoon, I started watching the documentary on the it was on the Celtics. I have no idea what channel it was on or anything, but it was really good. It was really good on the Larry Bird, Kevin McHale Celtics back in the day, and it was the sad part was how Bird injuries just took him out and late in his career. He ended his career. His back, mainly his back issues. But it was good seeing some of those things and hearing the guys talk about each other and giving them a lot, all the teams a lot of respect, because Boston had many really good, series with with the Lakers, with Detroit, with it was just good to see it. Isaiah and Bird together doing something like that. It was really good. All right, we're going to take our first time out. I'm going to start with the lyrics here this morning. I'll go first. I'm just going to give you the first line. First line. Here we go.
All.
Lonely feeling deep inside. We'll be back in a moment.
First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
Merry Christmas to all from everyone at Bennett Funeral Service in Newton and Conover. Bennett Funeral Service is family owned by Robbie and Rhonda Bennett, and they were voted the best funeral home in Catawba County for 8 consecutive years by Observer, News, Enterprise, Reader's Choice, and the Hickory Daily Record. They were also voted the best overall business and best customer service for 2022. Since 2013, Bennett Funeral Service has been serving the Catawba County and the surrounding counties, and they consider it an honor to serve you and your family in time of need. They would like to wish you a safe holiday, a Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. From Robbie, Rhonda, Kyle, Lindsay, and the staff of Bennett Funeral Service in Newton.
Christmas is just around the corner, so head to Cedar Lake Christmas Tree Farm for your tree. Family owned and operated for 33 years. A trip to Cedar Lake Christmas Tree Farm is a family adventure. You can cut your own from red cedar, Leland cypress, and Carolina sapphire, or select a pre-cut Fraser fir. And while you're there, climb the Hay Mountain, roast a s'more, meet the animals, and check cedarlaketreefarm.com for Santa's schedule. Opening November 23rd, Monday through Saturday, 9 till 8, Saturdays 10 till 8, while supplies last. Cedar Lake Christmas Tree Farm, 5829 East Highway 27, Iron Station. By supporting Cedar Lake Christmas Tree Farm, you're supporting small businesses in Avery and Mitchell counties where the trees are from, which were devastated by Hurricane Helene.
This is Creighton Kell with Kell Insurance. We have been helping people for over 25 years with all their Medicare needs. We represent the same national and local companies as the insurance agencies you see on TV. And you know what? We can sit down with you one-on-one and help you find the right plan just for you.
Kell Insurance is located beside the Cultural Center and behind Gillum Realty in downtown Lincolnton. 107 North Cedar Street. Call 704-732-4646 and follow them on Facebook. Kell Insurance.
When you want it fresh, that's fresh. Then see Charlie and Dolly at Keener Farms, 519 Buffalo Shoals Road in Lincolnton. Keener Farms has grass-fed Black Angus beef, from hamburger to roast and steaks. Need breakfast meat? Then check out the uncured bacon and fresh breakfast sausage. Don't forget the freshly made sourdough bread, local honey, sorghum molasses, and handmade pies. Open 9 to 5 Thursday and Friday, 9 to 3 on Saturday. Or call 704-530-9960 for an appointment. Keener Farms, 519 Buffalo Shoals in Lincolnton.
Century Drug in Boger City is the first pharmacy in the area to offer peace of mind for you, your caregivers, and for your family with a convenient poly pouch, strip pouch system, just like the one you've seen on TV. You'll receive all your medications once a month in a box that dispenses a convenient, easy-to-open strip pouch that is perfectly labeled for breakfast, lunch, bedtime, etc. Call or come by for a visit today. 704-735-2551. Century Drug, East Main Street in Lincolnton.
Welcome back. David, Mike, Brett here with you Saturday morning. Lenny says, okay, you're going to have to help me. He got fired at LSU.
Yeah.
Will Wade.
Will Wade, yeah.
Okay. He got fired at LSU for improprieties. I think he actually received the NCAA punishment of show cause when they had the power to do that.
That was during that whole
obsolete
thing when they
were
busting college basketball for all kind of payments and violations. Remember, the FBI got involved. I think he got caught up in that.
Yeah. Well, what's against the rules now?
I know. I don't know. I guess. Well, Brad said earlier, just maybe times when you can't talk the players or contact them.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
well,
come on. In this day, I mean,
Tampering.
But is that illegal all the time? Or can, like, in an open period, can I call one of your players and see if he's interested in coming to my program?
How about contact by agents? That's what I want to know with this NIL.
I would think the player would have to be in the portal before you could contact him, but I don't know that.
Yeah, I would hope so. It's bad enough as it is, but I would definitely hope so.
Well, how about an agent? You think the player would have to declare for the portal before an agent could contact him and to help him get
I would think a player could have an agent.
Can have an agent
anytime.
Can have an agent. Yeah,
I would think so.
Yeah, why not? If you're paid.
If you're paid,
yeah.
Now I don't know when the agent could be contacted by other schools and stuff like that, or.
Of course, now, is it not true that the revenue sharing thing will come in the next academic year? That's what I keep hearing. So universities and colleges can directly pay players out of the revenue that accumulates from their athletic programs.
Good question.
Not just an NIL collective kind of thing, but actually, salaried. Or, I don't know.
It's a new world.
And is that different from NIL, or is that in addition to NIL? So
you tell me.
Keep up with it.
I'll get back to the lyrics here real quick. Lonely feeling deep inside, find a corner where I can hide. Yep. You guys got them, and so did Butch, along with
Butch.
Ned. Getting the lyrics this morning. Silent footsteps crowding me, sudden darkness, but I can see. No Sugar Tonight.
That's
by
right.
the Guess Who.
The Guess Who.
Yep, who are getting back together as a full
Glad
group
to hear
and touring next year.
As I was saying off the air, their songs still hold up even though they're recorded in the 60s.
Yep. And they've got a great name because a lot of people just really don't know as much about, they don't seem to get as much attention as many other groups, but yep. The Who, you got the Who and the Guess Who.
Guess Who.
Yeah. Which one came along first?
And Who's Next? That was the title of a Who album.
Was it?
Yeah.
Who's next?
Yeah.
Oh man, Butch, I believe that you guys won guess. I don't know what that means, but I'm reading it. I believe that you guys won Guess Who song. One Guess Who song. No Sugar Tonight. Maybe he's surprised we picked one of those. Lenny says the maestro behind the group of Piston Thugs was Isaiah Thomas back in the day. Let's see what else we got here. They had many guys that would not back down.
Was the other Joe Dumars? Was he on that team?
Yep, tough, hard-nosed player. Ned says, "Guess Who? No Sugar Tonight in your coffee. No Sugar tonight.
My tea.
In your tea.
Your
what
tea.
He says.
Your tea.
But it is my tea. It is my tea. And
what was that one song they did? American Woman.
Scott, I'll answer your question on the next break when I find out the answer to that. Now, what, Mike?
American Woman, remember that one? They did that.
Well, sure.
song.
Yeah.
These Eyes.
Did they not write that? Or were they the original for American Woman? Because a lot of people's done it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
It's really kind of a kiss-off to the American Woman.
And Lenny Kravitz did it.
Lenny Kravitz
90s.
did it.
Yep. And I think there were others, too, that did it in between. Of course, there's a lot of songs like that fall into that category that many people will cover them at some point in time. But yeah, Lenny Kravitz, great job with it. And that's okay. Here's the way it is when you're getting older. I want to say Lenny Kravitz's was 15 years ago.
Yeah,
no, more than that.
Wow, that's what I was guessing. I was going to guess that I was way low.
I would say it was late 90s.
Maybe in the 90s,
yeah. Major League Baseball last night, the Red Sox, I'm not picking them, saying first because they're my team, but they are the first. If Mike looks at my screen, he'll see that they are the first one on here in the score column today. They moved a game over 500 finally last night. Red Sox beat the White Sox 10-3. Man, the White Sox set a record last year for losses, right? Major League losses in one season. they're on their way to trying to top that again.
Yep.
The White Sox are 4-15.
Ooh.
0-7 on the road. 10-3, Boston wins that game last night. The Diamondbacks fall to the Cubs. This is a game we were talking about a little earlier that a team scored 10 runs in an inning and lost the game. The Diamondbacks scored 10 runs in I don't remember which inning you said, Brett.
The eighth.
Like in the 8th, that late in the game. And then the Cubs come back and scored 6 in the home half, right?
Yeah.
Wow, that is that. I don't know if that would be record breaking for time in an inning. Probably an hour to play that inning.
Yeah. The game still just lasted 3 hours and 9 minutes.
Okay. That was a low score. You know how we're at those games, Mike, and say this thing's clicking right along.
Yeah, I
and
know.
That's what those
Kiss of
broadcasters
death.
did yesterday.
It was 2-1 at the end of the 6th.
2-1 at the end of the 6th.
Yeah. The Cubs got 5 in the 7th. Arizona 10 in the 8th. The Cubs 6 in the 8th.
What is that? Oh, okay. I got you. I want to go back to Jason's comment real quick. Agents are allowed in college to help negotiate NIL deals.
Okay.
Although schools are not supposed to do it, they are back channel conversations between the schools and the agent, even if the player hasn't entered the portal. Lately, there have been several players enter the portal with a do not contact note attached to their name.
That means they already know where they're going.
Yeah. That's usually done because the player is already lined up with a new school to join before even entering the portal. Monty wants to point this out real quick. Yankees have won 5 in a row, leading division. I wasn't going to skip your Yankees, Monty. Let's see. I'm just trying to get through the scores here. Red Sox 10-3. Diamondbacks fall to the Cubs 13-11. That's the game we talked about, the huge 8th inning. Guardians 10-7 over the Pirates. Guardians 10-9. The Pirates fall to 8-13. Kansas City 8-13 as well. They fall to the Tigers. Tigers look like a team to maybe watch out for a little bit in the American League this year, taking a step up. They made the playoffs last year, right? And lost in the opening round, I think. Did Detroit?
I think so.
7-3 last night over the Royals. The Phillies over the Marlins by a score of 7-2. Reds 8-3 over the Baltimore Orioles. Yankees 1-0 over the Tampa Rays. Tampa playing in the George Steinbrenner Stadium this year due to the hurricane damage at the Trop. It's really a better atmosphere. This place only seats 10,000. They're pretty much filling it up right now anyway.
Yeah.
And it just I just like it better. Just like it better. Nice looking stadium. It's just around the corner from the Buccaneers football stadium, if I recall. But yeah, I think.
Well, most days they don't have. That's all they need, right? In most home games.
Yeah.
10,000.
Yep. Yep. It's funny that Miami only needs about 10,000 for the Marlins. The Sacramento A's probably could get by with about 3,000. Don't even know, but it's what's going to happen to Major League Baseball when there's no salary cap. The smaller markets cannot compete. Yeah, I think maybe not in our lifetime, Mike, but I think one day Major League Baseball will be down to about 20 teams or less.
Wow.
At some point,
That's
unless they change it.
Yep.
Unless they get smart and let everybody be equal. Like football. Look how football is absolutely exploding. NFL, by far the most watched sport. You know?
Yeah.
And it's exploding. Salary caps help the sport, not the team. Let's see, the Cardinals over the Mets last night. Excuse me, Mets win 5-4. Is that the walk-off home run I saw? If I'm not mistaken. Lindor.
Yep. It was.
I think I heard, maybe I'm wrong, that was his first Major League walk-off home run in his career. You like Lindor?
Yeah.
I do too. He's one of my favorite players to watch. Really, I mean, I'm not taking nothing away from his offense. He's good offensively, but he can really play on the defensive side. The Braves 6-4 over the Twins last night. Braves now move up to 6-13. Rough start, but maybe starting to put some wins together now. Brett's Dodgers shut out the Rangers last night, 3-0. Who threw that masterpiece?
Yamamoto. He's been awesome so far.
Did I see or did I dream this, that Ohtani pitched a little bit?
No.
Okay. I dreamed.
He's actually out on paternity leave right now.
Maybe a dad for the first time, right?
Yeah. Well, I hope he has it soon. The Boston had a player do that this week too.
Bregman, too, you told me.
Yeah. He had 5 hits, including 2 homers on Tuesday night.
Mm-hmm.
Missed Wednesday's game to go on paternity leave.
Yep.
And supposedly, I can't even remember if he was back last night or not. He was supposed to have been back last night, but I can't recall. The Brewers beat the A's 5-3. The Padres, that's a team you better watch out for. They did lose last night to the Astros 6-4, but they fell to 15-5. So already 10 games over 500 this early
pretty good
in the season. Yes, it is. How about Mike's Giants? They cooled off a little bit.
They did.
But still 13-7 though, Mike.
I'm happy with that. I mean, we got off to was it 8-1, 10-1 start?
What I didn't expect, though, is a shutout from the Angels. Let's see. Anderson with the win.
Pitched pretty good game.
Yeah. Just trying to see. He's 2-0
with a
hitter. 2.08 ERA. I don't know. I'm not aware of Anderson. So
no, he's been around. He's been around a while.
Okay.
A lot of different places.
And in Colorado, I don't know why, unless it was a snowstorm, but the Nationals and the Rockies did not get to play last. It could have been rain. But first thought, in mid-April, that it could have been a snowstorm as well. Let's see. We are. Most teams are about 20 games in. That's hard to believe, isn't it? I mean, that's just quick to get 20 games in. Lenny says Bregman was back last night. That's good. But the Yankees lead the like Monty said, 5 straight wins. They lead the American League East at 13-7. Toronto next at 12-8. Boston 11-10. Baltimore 8-11, and Tampa Bay 8-12. One of the Orioles' better hitters was not able to start the season. Do we know if he's back yet?
Yeah, he's back. Gunnar Henderson.
Yeah, Henderson. Yep.
He's played 12 games now.
I guess this is a jab from Monty after the way the Yankees played last year in the World Series. The Red Sox lead the majors with 20 errors, and a team-high 4 of those are on Bregman. He's looked plenty spry in the field, but his throws have been, shall we say, adventurous.
Sounds like
crazy fact. Well, where was the stadium where they had the we talked about those the bats early in the season, and those torpedo bats have kind of cooled off for everybody that's using them a little bit. But where was it they had like the 10-foot glove? One of the parks had a 10-foot glove for Judge when they when they went in. Lenny says you're correct. Colorado was snowed out last night.
Just as well, they're 3-15. That is the worst record.
Well, Boston brought in Bregman to play third, and Devers has been DH, and they could just switch those, and maybe Devers
make more errors.
A little better in the field than Bregman right now.
That is odd for him, though, isn't it? Isn't he usually a pretty solid? I didn't realize he had 4 errors. I thought he was usually pretty solid in the field. Monty, I'm gonna tell you, he's been worried about the birth of his baby. He's had that on his mind. He don't have time to play defense. Just get me 5 hits a game. You can make an error. I'll take it, especially if 2 of them are home runs in those games. Detroit 12-8 leads the American League Central. Cleveland 10-9. Kansas City 8-13. Minnesota 7-13, and Chicago 4-15. I wish George was listening because I'd love to say, is this the most irrelevant division?
Yeah.
But it's really not. It's really not, because honestly, 2 teams here could make the playoffs. Detroit and Cleveland.
One of them has to.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Well, but every division won't have 2, will they? Most likely. In the West, Texas 12-8, followed by the Angels at 10-9, Seattle 10-10. Cal Raleigh, you don't know anything about his stats, do you, Brett? I know he's a couple home runs in one game this week.
He's hitting 218 with 8 home runs.
Yeah, low average, but
high homers.
A lot of power. Yeah, what's the league lead?
Only 11 RBIs.
Nobody's getting on base. 8 home runs. How many of that? I mean,
that's
7 of them could have been solos.
Shots.
If you think about it, 7 of them could have been solos.
They all could have been.
Yeah, that's true. They could have been.
He's second in the American League. Let me just do all Major League. Yeah, he's second, and you would never guess the name of the home run leader with 9. He plays for the A's.
Oh my gosh, He'll be a Yankee next year.
He's 23.
Yep.
Tyler Soderstrom, first baseman for the A's, has 9 home runs.
And that park's not small. If you're wondering that, the park that they're playing in Sacramento, it's major league depth. It's not near as short as right field in Yankee Stadium. What else you got, Brett? Is that the only stat you're going to give me?
Well, I thought you just wanted the home run.
Yeah.
Where Cal Raleigh ranked in the
Where is he?
second with
okay.
8.
Okay.
And then, several guys have 7.
Who are they? Throw them in there.
Well, on this list, it shows Aaron Judge, Kyle Schwarber, and Tommy Edman. And I don't know. Yeah, that's it. And then a bunch more with 6.
Is Kyle Schwarber the most unorthodox leadoff hitter?
Yeah.
In the history of Major League Baseball? Not many guys away. I'm gonna be nice here and say 225. I'm gonna guess that's low on Schwarber's weight, and he bats leadoff. You just don't see, he's not going to steal many bases.
5'11", 229 is what this says. He's pretty
okay.
close.
But now a lot of times that listed weight is,
Don Revel says Otani's wife, Mamiko Tanaka, is a former professional basketball player in the Japanese league, and she's 5'11". He says baby will have athletic genes.
Yep.
Or the athletic gene.
Where do you go to buy athletic jeans?
Yeah.
The Gap.
You can buy an
that's
athletic
impressive.
fit.
Can you imagine what a future? Do we know? Well, you never know. I mean, it could falter, but most likely we'll be a really good athlete. Is it a boy or a girl?
I don't know. I don't know that the
no word
baby,
on that
I don't know
yet.
that the baby's been born yet.
No word on that yet. Let's go on through the rest of the standings. The A's, I don't know if I got that far or not, but they're 9-11. I mean, hey, I can't remember what the record was last year, but that's got to be an improvement to be 9-11 out of the first 20 games. The National League East, it is going to be fun to watch, and it's going to be a 2-team race. It looks like, unless the Braves can turn things around. But the Mets and the Phillies, those games are fun to watch when they play each other. The Mets lead it right now, 13-7, just by one game, 12-8 for the Phillies. Then come the Marlins, 8-11, Washington 7-12, Braves 6-13. The Cubs lead the Central, 13-9. They lead Milwaukee by a game. The Brewers are 11-9. Cincinnati 10-10. St. Louis 9-11. Pittsburgh 8-13. Butch, I've been just a little bit disappointed in the start for your Cardinals, but they're by no means. I think they'll be in the race the entire season long. Mm-hmm. Try to watch Alec Burleson from East Lincoln every chance I get. If they're on TV, I'll at least flip over and watch him bat once or twice during the game. Don't even know what numbers he's got. But seems like every time I watch, though, he does get a hit.
He's
in the
hitting
game.
263. No home runs so far. 3 doubles, 5 RBI.
You know, one thing about him, I watched one night and he's playing left field. I watched another night and he's playing first base. So
Yeah.
he can help you at different
He
positions.
doesn't strike out much. Only 7 strikeouts
That's
so
pretty
far.
good.
Where their team leader has 28 strikeouts.
I got to throw this in there real quick while I can. Just I'm going to go through the rest of things. Didn't remind me Barry Bonds. Okay. We go through the National League West. It is by far the best division. I watched a show. Do you guys ever watch on MLB Network? Y'all ever watch
I don't have it.
MLB? Mike probably don't either. He don't even have television.
I'm getting a new one, man. 65.
I would have it, but it's not an option on YouTube TV.
I know. But I can't remember what the show's called, but it's former Red Sox and a former pitcher. They oh Lord, names escape me all the time now. But anyway, they were talking about this division. One of the guys on there said 3 teams will make the playoffs out of that division. The other one said 4. He thinks those top 4. He thinks Arizona, San Francisco, L.A., and San Diego will all make the playoffs. So that takes all your wild cards up, doesn't it, or not?
I think so.
Yeah, and I could see that. I mean, if you look at the records right now, you can't hardly dispute it.
Deny that.
Yeah, but San Diego 15-5. The Dodgers 15-6, the Giants 13-7, D-backs 12-8. People don't realize how good the Diamondbacks are.
Yeah,
That's a pretty good team to be in 4th place in this division. I've watched them a couple nights, and they can score some runs. And then Colorado, boy, you got to feel for them. 3 wins.
Yeah.
3 wins in 18 outings, 3-15, and Mike made a good point. They got by without a loss last night because of the snowstorm. That's just perfect for that team, right? You're 3-15 and it snows a game out. So
they only scored 52 runs so far.
52 runs in 18 games.
Easily
3 a game.
the lowest.
Does that even get you to 3?
How many games?
18.
Right at it.
Yeah. Minus 51.
Well, I was going to tell you about
Difference.
Bonds, Barry Bonds. Dan Patrick, I was watching him a few days back, and they were talking about, the power hitting and stuff like that. And Dan stopped everybody and said, you guys just don't understand this stat. Said Barry Bonds, if he had been pitched to, a third of his at-bats the season he broke the home run record, 1/3 of his at-bats were walks.
Yeah.
Whether intentional or they were all intentional, I'm sure. You might have pitched, you might have threw 4 balls, but you kept them so far away he couldn't hit them.
Yep.
That he would have cleared the 100 home run mark. He would have cleared 100 if they had pitched to him and give.
I would not doubt it.
By percentages,
Yeah.
he would have eclipsed the 100 mark in home runs. How many did he hit that year?
Was it 73?
73.
Yeah, that's just amazing that that he said 1 out of every 3 at bats was a walk or an intentional walk. That is amazing to me. That's just
Speaking of numbers, I got a few from Ned here. You may have had this, David, in the paper. Seth Willis, UNC Pembroke,
sure did.
National Collegiate Baseball Writers Association Southeast Region Pitcher of the Week.
Mm-hmm.
Save and 2 games of a doubleheader.
Well, that's going to be in the upcoming paper. The one that was in there last week was had the 2 saves. He was later named that.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Also, Dalton Pence, ex-Cherville guy, pitched the 5th, 6th, and 7th innings for Hickory and gave up 0 hits, struck out 4 in a nice relief stint for the Crawdads, apparently. Thank you, Ned, for that.
Good morning, Joey. Joey's up and with us this morning. Lenny says, I think Bregman won a Gold Glove last year at Houston, so how about that? So maybe he'll get his defense back. Mike and Ned said, I put some. Oh yeah, Mike's already gone over that post 100 information. So, yep, that
post 100 alum news.
Less than a month away, or right at a month away from the start of the American Legion baseball. Right at a month, right?
Yeah, right at a month. Yep.
Yep, that is for sure. There's Mike. You got your lyrics ready?
Yeah. Hold on there.
There is a rundown for you from Major League Baseball. If I had to guess right now, I don't know who I would pick.
This is a tough one, guys.
I don't know who I would pick in the World Series at this point. It might be the Yankees.
Usual suspects.
But then when I look at the National League, I could go with 8 teams. 6 or 8 teams that could still make it there.
I'd settle for just making the playoffs for the Giants.
I really think that the teams that can challenge the Yankees when they get to the American League Championship Series would be Detroit or Texas at this time. That's subject to change every single week.
Yep.
What you got, Mike?
Okay, this is a toughie, guys. Sometimes I think life is just a rodeo. The trick is to ride and make it to the bell.
There you go. Somebody tell me Mike's lyrics. We're back in a moment.
Beauchamps, I have a toothache. Where should I go?
Well, Tim, I'd go to John Cloninger Dentistry in Lincolnton. He takes care of all my dental needs. Cleanings and deep cleanings, crowns, bridges, fillings, dentures. He can even help you with your sleep apnea.
And guess what, Bo? He has a partner, Dr. Aaron Hevner.
That's right, Tim. Stop in at Dr. John Cloninger's Dentistry today to let Dr. Irvin Hevner and John brighten your smile.
John Cloninger Dentistry, 904 Dante Drive, Lincolnton. Hours Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Or call 704-735-0765.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit mooneyinsurance.com.
Built upon a solid foundation of cast iron and steel, the Kubota L-Series is part of our under 100 horsepower tractor lineup rated #1 for reliability. They feature powerful Kubota diesel engines and easy operation. The durable Kubota L-Series. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Your Kubota dealer is Parker Farm Service, located at 126 Bessie Drive on Oak Grove Road at the Highway 74 bypass in Kings Mountain. Do you suffer from peripheral neuropathy? Well, Pro Wellness Family Chiropractic in Lincoln can help with an effective treatment plan. Early diagnosis and consistent care may help reduce the severity of motor and sensory nerve damage. Also ask about dry needling. It can help to trigger points in those muscles, tendons, and ligaments. Find out how dry needling can help you feel better. See Pro Wellness Family Chiropractic, 644 Clark Drive in Lincoln, online at ProWellnessNC.com. Like them on Facebook too. And stay tuned for more information on their 10th year celebration coming soon.
Well, everybody's heard about the bird.
Hi, folks. This is Buddy Cheney, owner of Promotion Motor Company. It's springtime. Bees are buzzing, birds are flying, and tops are coming off. At least a top of Jeep Wranglers and convertibles that we keep in stock at Promotion Motor Company. Yes, we have the quality pre-owned vehicle you are looking for. Trucks, sedans, SUVs, we got them. Good credit, bad credit, no credit, first-time buyers or on-lot finance. We have many options to get you in a quality pre-owned vehicle. So if you're looking to take your top off, and you know what I mean, come on down to Promotion Motor Company, located at 2527 East Main Street, Lincoln, or visit us at www.promotionmotors.com or call us at 704-735-0303.
You guys having a party too?
Yeah, just having some friends over for the game. Is that safe?
More plugs, more power.
You're all ready for the game. 4 new outlets, all with USB, and the projector's hooked up to a new dedicated line.
Oh, heck no.
What happened to the game? He likes to do it all himself, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's Bob Malarkey.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888
Sparky.
At Scooters Coffee, we like to think of ourselves as day makers. A stop at Scooters can mean a fresh start to the morning, a midday break, or a reward at the end of a busy day. Scooting around for a caramelicious, a baked-from-scratch pastry, maybe even a real fruit smoothie. We'll be here to celebrate with you every time you order a favorite treat, right down to the smiley stickers we put on the drink lids. Scooters Coffee, 2230 East Main Street in Lincoln. Scooters Coffee, serving smiles every day.
Welcome back. Glad to have you with us Saturday morning here. I got two people saying the artist might. Go ahead and give those again before I.
I'll go ahead and give you the first.
Just the first line.
First cut. The trick is to ride and make it to the bell.
All right, you can give another one.
There's a place.
Wait, that wasn't what you started with a minute ago.
Yeah, it is. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
That was the second line.
Here we go. Sometimes I think life is a rodeo. The trick is to ride and make it to the bell.
All right. I've got two here saying it's John Fogerty.
So
it must be
correct.
John Fogerty.
That is correct.
Is it I Wish It Were True? That's not the song,
I'll
is it?
give you another line on down as the chorus starts. Hey, let's go all over the world.
Oh, yeah.
Does that help?
Yeah. Yes, I know the song, but I do not know the title. Don't say it, though.
Okay.
We'll let people try to think of the title now that we've got those hints. Butch
Hey,
said, I
let's
know
go.
it's Fogerty, but I can't remember the song, and Lenny's pretty much said the same.
All right.
Don't know the
Well,
title.
you got the
John
artist.
Fogerty.
Yeah.
It's just him by himself?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
From an album called Centerfold.
Yeah. Not Jay Giles' band, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Different.
Different one.
You sure it's not Center Field?
It is center field.
Okay, that helps.
They had a song called Center Field.
It is center field. Yeah.
Mike's got his mind somewhere else, hasn't he?
The center fold. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, man, been talking Major League Baseball here this morning, and the standings, and a lot of baseball yet to be played, of course. About 140 games more or so. Is there anything that stands out to you guys so far on the Major League Baseball season? Something that the main story so far in baseball? Week one it was the bats, week one or week two, but that's kind of died off a little bit. Not much talk about the bats. They're legal. They're out there for anybody that wants to use them. The hitting kind of, I don't know. It seems to me like the hitting's kind of cooled off a little bit. But then again, I look at some of these scores, and it's not cooled off everywhere. But it's not consistent. It's more consistent. We're seeing more of the 5-4 games, 5-3, and things like that. Looking at a couple of the things here, the Yankees have scored 114 runs. That does lead that leads the American League. I know you guys are probably looking at what I'm looking at, but I was going to ask you if you could name the teams that have scored more runs than the Yankees. One of them's a bit of a surprise to me.
It's San Diego one.
San Diego has scored 92. But there is one in that division and another one at 104. One team with 115, one with 104. And one of those is Mike's team. He don't even realize it. The Giants have scored 104.
I'm happy.
Runs on the season, but Arizona's at 115. You know what? Arizona's at 115, and the Rockies are at 52. That's 137 though is the tops. 137. Their record is 13-9, and they scored a lot of them yesterday. Does that help you?
I see it now.
Yeah, yesterday's game helped.
Yeah. It looks like they've played the most games.
Yeah.
Also.
Yep.
Yeah. 22.
And that helps. But yeah, I'm just looking at the offenses of some of these other teams. Here's the funny one: if I'm reading this right, Brett, the Texas Rangers have scored the fewest runs in their division by far.
Yeah.
And they have give up 14 more runs than they've scored, and they're in first place.
Well, that's
12-8.
Unusual.
It is, isn't it? Winning a lot of low-scoring games, which means their pitching staff must be pretty sharp. And I know Nolan Ryan's not part of that.
Yeah, they are. DeGrom pitched last night. I think he gave up 1 run.
Yeah. Yankees with 114. Yankees give up 86, though. So they're outscoring, just trying to outscore most of their opponents. Boston, my team, already give up 100 runs. Of course, 18 of those came in one game this week. I can't remember who it was they were playing, but somebody scored 18 on them. Of course, they came back. It was Tampa. They came back and won the next 2 games after losing 18-1 or whatever it was. I don't know. Lenny says, tell Mike to put that foldable in the middle of that magazine up. Yeah, referring to Fogarty's song as Centerfold. That's Jay Giles' song.
That's right, Jay Giles band.
I'll just try and see if there's any other interesting stats here in the in Major League Baseball. The numbers like that, the numbers game. It seemed like to me in all sports the numbers mean more in baseball.
Oh, no doubt.
As to that they tell the story of why you are a successful team that season or why you're not a successful team. To me, but Judge 384. That's amazing to me. The power hitter that he is, and he's hitting 384 on the season so far. What is my pop-up ads doing here, getting in my way? Aaron Judge 384. Jonathan. Here's baseball for you right now, though, okay? Tell me who these people play for. Jonathan Aranda is hitting 382. No clue?
I don't know him.
Yep, Tampa Bay. Brendan Donovan, 380.
He's a Cardinal.
Right, and Butch better get that one. I know we know this next one, Paul Goldschmidt.
A new Yankee.
That's what the NY stands for.
Former Cardinal.
NY, New Yankee. Hitting 373 on the season. Pretty impressive to me. And then you got Young Hoo Lee, San Francisco, Mike. Hope I said that name right. I think I did. 361 on the season. 3-win pitchers already. Yamamoto, is that right, Brett? Yamamoto. Dodgers got his 3rd last night. Is that right? Max Fried with the Yankees. Boy, the Braves are missing him, aren't they? Already at 3. Brandon Pfaft, Arizona, 3 wins. Sonny Gray. Sonny Gray seems like he's been pitching to me for 25 years. I know he started in Oakland, didn't he? I remember him back. It seemed like he threw a no-hitter with the A's several years ago. But now with St. Louis, he has 3 wins. And Nick Pivetta, I think I saw him on a commercial. Is that right? Do you guys remember seeing him?
I don't know what he looks like. There's actually 13 guys with 3 wins.
There are?
Yeah.
Okay, I won't go all the way through all those.
Some of them are relief pitchers.
Really?
Yeah, the Dodgers have one. Anthony Banda, relief pitcher, has 3 wins.
A lot of relief pitchers may not get 3 wins all year.
Yeah.
And they've got 3 in the first 20 games. That's pretty good. Home run leaders, Tyler.
Yeah, we did that.
Yeah, you went through those earlier with Cal Raleigh. How do you say his name?
Soderstrom.
Tyler Soderstrom. Cal Raleigh, Aaron Judge. That's 9, 8, and 7. Judge was 7. Schwarber was 7. Tommy Edman with the Dodgers at 7. RBIs, Wilmer Flores, 23 RBIs with Mike's Giants. Aaron Judge with 22 RBIs. Kyle Tucker with the Cubs, 21. Pete Alonso, 21. And Ellie De La Cruz, 21. And there may be more. I'm just giving you the 5 that are listed on the screen. Brendan Donovan has 30 hits to lead the National League. Paul Goldschmidt, 28. Aaron Judge, 28. Kyle Tucker, 28. And Corbin Carroll, 27. I was kind of hesitant here. Is stolen bases on its way back?
Yeah, I think so.
It seems like seeing a few more. This would be incredible if this was right. I must have read this wrong. But did Boston lead the league last year in stolen bases?
I have no idea.
Seemed like they flashed that up one time. Now, they got the leadoff hitter that's really good, a speedster that gets on and steals quite a few bases. But that's just been one of the things they've, I miss it. I'm glad it's coming back, if it is making a comeback. O'Neal Cruz with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Would you been able to name that?
No.
Mike Powell.
Nope.
Leading the National League in stolen bases with 9. Jake Myers, Jake Magnum, Pete Crow Armstrong, and Victor Scott all have 7 stolen bases in the American League. So,
no, that's the whole.
Oh, that's the whole thing.
'Cause one of those
both
was a
of them,
Cub.
Yeah, both of them are. That's good. All the stats I gave were combined, weren't they? Both leagues. Yeah. Used to do, they separated those. I like it better being combined like that. What do you guys think, just right off the top of your head, the biggest story so far in Major League Baseball? Or is there one?
I don't really know one.
We've seen enough. I mean, I think it's a little bit early to get
Yeah.
an angle on the big story.
Offense is up, though, right? Wouldn't you think offense is up? Seems like every game I watch, it's the winner has at least 6 runs. Maybe I'm wrong about that. And there are, don't get me wrong, there are low-scoring games mixed in. The Reds lost 3 straight games earlier in the year, 1-0. The Boston Red Sox won a game this week, 1-0. So there are still plenty of 1-0 games.
The only surprise to me is Atlanta.
Yeah, I guess
being
that would
6
be
and
in a
13.
negative way the biggest.
The only surprise is that? I mean,
I think so.
Definitely the biggest. I think that's definitely the biggest. I mean,
and only scoring 3.5 runs a game.
Yeah, and they didn't. Who did they lose in the way of bats? Who did they lose? Who's not there?
I mean, they don't have Acuna yet.
Yeah,
but
that's a big one.
But they didn't have him at the end. I mean, he's been in and out of the lineup his whole career, I think. Yeah, they still got Matt Olson, Ozuna, Austin Riley, Michael Harris. It's basically the same team they finished with last year.
Right. But Freed, where'd he wind up?
Yankees.
Yeah. Anybody else on the pitching staff?
Well, Spencer Strider's out. He was their best, and he's out. I don't know if he's out for the whole season or not.
Right.
Or is he? Now this shows he's pitched a game. Okay.
So he's back, or he maybe pitched and then got hurt. I don't know. I can't remember. If I had to pick right now, American League, this is subject to change like we talk about every week. You guys tell me if yours are different. I would.
Oh, yeah, Strider pitched this past week. So I guess he's back from his injury.
My ALCS would be the Yankees taking on. It's tough for me to go between the Tigers and the Rangers, but I'd go with the Rangers, just because runs allowed 77. That's pretty low.
Mm-hmm.
And they're winning some of those. I mean, they got a winning record, even though they hadn't scored. Their offense hadn't taken off really good yet. So I think I would pick them over Detroit at this time. And then I look at the National League. I think it is way more wide open. Obviously, you got to go with the Dodgers just because their lineup, they're going to be consistent. You know, I mean, They're 15-6, and everybody else is hanging around that right now.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, I think their opponent in the National League Championship Series right now is going to come from their division. But I'm not going to pick one of them because I think they're all pretty equal. I just really don't know. I mean, can the Padres stay at this level, 15-5? Can you win 15 out of 20 all year long? I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
At some point, something's going to happen, and it's going to.
I don't think anybody's going to win 75% of their games.
Yeah,
that'd be 120 wins.
Yeah. What's the major league record?
117.
Is that Seattle?
Like that? Yeah.
Seattle back in the day. It's been a while for them too, hasn't it? But let's see. Another post 100 FYI. Mike, you might want to check that out.
Yeah, I'm checking it out right now.
That. Does Ned know post 100 don't start for a month?
Yep. Well, Legion schedules, we know, is always subject to change.
Lenny says Strider just came back this week.
Yeah.
He had Tommy John.
Yeah, he got hurt real early last year.
Right.
So he's missed almost, or maybe over a full year. But he only made a couple starts last year.
Did you find that, Brett? Brett. Mike?
Yeah, he says, post 100 baseball schedule news, as always, as of now, subject to change. Not quite sure about that.
I guess maybe he just sent you the schedule again.
Could be.
And like you said, we know for a fact, no use giving that schedule till the day they play.
Yeah, or preface it with the word tentative, always.
Yeah, it'll probably be the day that they actually play.
Well, now, I do know that they Post 100 has submitted its application to get the 2026 regional.
Okay.
Which it could end up being 2 regionals.
Yes, we've heard about the Southeast and the Mid-Atlantic.
That's right.
Both taking place in Gaston County.
In Gaston County, some at Sims,
right.
Legion Field, and some at Cherryville.
Right. And the Legion's wanting to do it that way, right? Where they call it a super regional.
Super regional is what they're tapping.
And have two at each location.
Well, already this year, Post 100 is going to host in back-to-back weeks the state juniors tournament, followed by the state seniors tournament.
Okay.
Yeah. So, got their hands full.
And about, do you know? I'm not trying to put you on the spot. The dates, or somewhere close to the dates for those.
Late July for the state. I think starts around the 24th, 25th, something like that. And I guess the juniors would be the week before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just you got me thinking here about some of the baseball. Just the high school and the Legion and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I wanted to check here real quick on East Rutherford baseball. You know, Coach Bobby Reynolds for so long head coach. Now his son Drew, the head coach, having a pretty good year.
Oh yeah,
having a pretty good year. They've played 16 games, and they have won
16
games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, 16-0, perfect 16-0. For
can you see another East Rutherford Burns matchup somewhere down the road in the 2A bracket?
They have give up 3 runs 4 times. Everything else is under that.
Wow.
And obviously they won those. Their scores this year, it's just amazing what they're doing. Is he on his way? Is Coach Drew Reynolds on his way to his first state title as a head coach?
Well, they're certainly playing very well.
Mike, they beat Drone 10-0. They beat North Henderson 11-1. Crest 8-2, and Crest has a good team.
Crest is that's not chump change. Crest.
They followed that with Kings Mountain 11-1.
Yeah.
Patton 11-1. Patton again 10-0. They do it where they play them both the same week. East Burke 3-0. Brevard 10-3. Brevard 6-0. RS Central 4-3 and 6-3. Chase 8-0 and 9-1. Chesney, South Carolina, 10-3. Naples, I don't know if that's a Florida or who they're playing, but they're in the that trip to the beach that happened this past week. They won 17-0, and they beat Star Point, another out-of-state team, 12-3. So 3 is the most that they've give up all year long.
Whoa!
And they've outscored their opponents 146-21. 146.
Well, I'm looking at the Max Preps NC rankings, and they're 5th.
5th?
Yeah.
In North Carolina?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's what it said.
Is that all classes? Or is
that's the all class.
All classes, okay. Yeah. So not just 2A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number
they got to
one
be
is
ranked number 1 in 2A.
Oh, yeah. But number 1 overall is D.H. Connolly.
Yeah, out of Greenville.
Yeah, 16-1.
Always, yep, always.
Cuthbertson, Metrolina Christian Academy. Do you guys know them? I don't. Charlotte Christian, then East Rutherford.
Okay. Yeah.
If anybody else, T.C. Roberson.
Well, you named a couple schools that
7.
You might have named 4 schools there that they're not going to have to face.
That's right.
When it comes,
I'm trying to find some 2A schools in these rankings.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. Oh, you really can't find any more?
I'm looking.
Yeah, I mean because.
How about West Rowan? That's 3A, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
or Stanley.
I thought Burns was in it.
I don't see Burns in the top 25 though. I mean, they've only lost a couple games, but
yeah, Burns is 2A.
Yeah, they are.
That could be an interesting matchup.
Let's see,
I could see that one being the finals and come down to 2 out of 3 between those.
Burns is 30th in the all classification Max Preps rankings, 18-3.
Wow.
So that's potential down the road for the Cavaliers. Lincoln Charter 39th, David, at 17-4.
Mm-hmm. Always a solid program.
Always
at Lincoln Charter. Yeah. Let's see. Metrolina Christian, Ned says, is part of Indian Trail First Baptist Church. He also says the North Carolina State Tourney at Fraley Field Juniors Saturday, July 19th through the 23rd, and the seniors is Saturday, July 26th through the 30th.
So, yep, that's it.
So basically last week of July for that senior tournament up at Fraley Field. The newly revamped Fraley Field. Looking good?
It is looking good.
Yeah.
They're planning some more stuff, obviously. Covers for some of the bleacher sections, or tarps, whatever you want to call them. Not exactly roofs, but it's going to be cover. I think for the middle section where the press box is, and the bleacher section on each side of the middle. So definitely have those in time for the regional, I would think.
Time for us to take our final time out. Brett has some lyrics for us that maybe, I guess, don't you?
Yeah.
You looked at me funny there like,
no.
I do?
Hey.
Go right ahead.
So you think you're a Romeo?
I think I got that.
You think you're
We'll be
Romeo.
back here in just a moment.
It's time to treat yourself with a new 2025 Slingshot from Full Throttle Power Sports in Lowell. Now get $3,000 customer cash on select models and up to $200 off parts and accessories. But that's not all. Take up to $4,000 off select Polaris off-road vehicles or get 0% financing for 60 months. But that's not all. 0% financing for 60 months or up to $3,000 customer cash on Yamaha Wolverine models. See Full Throttle Power Sports, 100 Indian Walk in Lowell. Online at ncfullthrottle.com.
What we have seen and heard, we proclaim to you also, so that you too may have fellowship with us. And indeed, our fellowship is with the Father and with His Son, Jesus Christ. 1 John 1:3. Come join us at Rhine Heights Methodist Church, located at 520 Madison Street, just up from Betty Ross Park. Sunday school at 10 and worship at 11. Follow us on Facebook. You are invited to worship and fellowship with us at Rhine Heights Methodist Church.
Looking for commercial or residential flooring? Look no further than Piedmont Flooring in Lincolnton. Piedmont Flooring is in the same location as Watson Carpet and Tile. Jason Husky, the owner, has military background and is active in the community as well as sports. Piedmont Flooring specializes in laminate, LVP, LVT, sheet vinyl, hardwoods, tile, carpet, cabinets, countertops, VCT, and backsplash. Open Tuesday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturdays, 8:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. Piedmont Flooring, 2129 East Main Street, Lincolnton. Call 704-735-2938. It is a family-owned business helping families. Zeus Auto Repair and Performance at 1122 South Aspen Street in Lincolnton now have 4 North Carolina licensed state inspectors on site. Need automotive work? They are the best. Oil changes, brakes, car detailing, and suspension work. You'll be in and out before you know it. Stop in and see the guys at Zeus Auto Repair and Performance at 1122 South Aspen Street in Lincolnton. Hours of business, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 704-240-3061. Zeus Auto Repair and Performance.
Notary services available on site as well.
Stop in today at Trick One Automotive Center in Lincolnton at 1924 Gastonia Highway and get $10 off on AC work, brakes, alignment work, oil changes, tune-ups, and all kind of maintenance that your vehicle needs. North Carolina inspection, they got you covered. Need tires? They are an authorized dealer of Goodyear, Cooper, and Kelly tires. See Mark, Jeff, Logan, the professionals at Trick One Automotive Center at 1924 Gastonia Highway, Lincolnton. Hours of business Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 704-240-3590. Like them on Facebook at Trick One Automotive.
With all the big box stores that don't provide customer service, trust the folks at Oliver's Hardware and Garden Center, 3712 Falston Road, Shelby. Locally owned and operated by the Oliver family and serving the community since 2016. They have hardware, lawn and garden products, along with animal feed, vegetable seed, mulch, topsoil, and a lot more. Open Monday through Friday, 8 till 5:30, on Saturday, 8 till 4. Check them out on Facebook too, or visit olivershardwarenc.com.
How would you like to be your own contractor? Stop in at Bliss Buildings and Tiny Homes in Cherryville and see Robert or Hunter. 5 years in business and the only engineer stamp AutoCAD design shed to home conversions. They know the North Carolina residential code and will build your county permit package. On-site, built 2-bedroom, 2-bath with a true sleeping loft, multiple designs, cottages, cabins, studio apartments. Blessed Buildings and Tiny Homes at 2268 Lincolnton Highway, Cherryville. Open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Call 704-727-8774. Open Sundays by schedule appointments only. Follow them on Facebook.
Welcome back. David, Mike, Brett here with you. Final segment of our show this morning. Brett's going to give his lyrics again. We did have some correct answers, Lenny and Ned, with the correct guesses, along with David. And once we spelled it out for Mike. What are they, Brett?
So you think you're a Romeo playing a part in a picture show.
And the next line is the title.
Yeah. Take the long way home.
Supertramp. And you said that was 79?
Yeah.
79. You know what I remember about that? That was about the time cassettes were introduced. Cassette tapes, cassette decks were introduced to cars, you know.
Yeah.
And
that was mid to late 70s.
I think I had that particular album on a cassette. So if I'm not mistaken.
Just for funsies, I debated between the song I picked, which obviously was kind of an obscure
Mike has
John Fogerty
two
song.
a week, don't he?
Get this, see if you can get this one. In the days of my youth, I was told what it means to be a man.
If Brett don't get that, we'll quit.
Yeah. I know he's going to get that one.
Yeah, Led Zeppelin. Good Times,
First
Bad
album.
Times.
Yeah. First Led Zepp album. Good Times, Bad Times.
Which told you that I knew it too.
Yep.
If I knew that Brett was going to ace the Led Zeppelin test.
I also had a second one, but I thought it might be a little
What was it?
racy. I'm not going to give it.
Too racy, okay. For family radio.
I hate we're going to miss it.
I'll give it after the show's over.
Yeah. Well, Mike's already talked about the centerfold mistakenly this morning. So
There you go.
we know it's not anything like that, right?
Another good tune.
If you folks are wondering, like a lot of local listeners, our local conference, couple conferences here, I'll try to give real quickly. In baseball, Maiden leads the conference in baseball, the CVAC, with a record of 11-3. West Lincoln second at 9-3, and that the difference there is because Lincoln County had spring break this past week.
Yeah.
Catawba County has spring break this upcoming week, so West Lincoln will have an opportunity to catch up with Maiden in the wins column there. East Burke is third at 10-4. Newton Conover, this has been a surprise baseball team this year in the league, is Newton Conover being 10-4 in the conference. Newton Conover. Bandy's is 6-8. That one, I think a lot of people thought the first year that Bandy's would be the favorite to win the conference, but they were very affected by the basketball team going deep in the playoffs.
Right, and just couldn't get it together or
Yep.
hadn't been able
Yep.
to yet. That happens.
Yep, and they just have never really gotten caught up. They started slow and have played well at times. They are still 6-8 in the conference, but
they probably won't make
the playoffs,
the conference tournament anyway, right?
No, not at this point. No, you're right. They're already out. They're
Already out.
4 games back of making the 4-team tournament. And I'm not sure about the playoffs, Mike, because they're 6-8, 6-11. So I'm going to say that's going to be tough too.
Be tough.
Bunker Hill 5-9 in conference play, 9-11 overall. Lincoln 2-10 and 6-14 overall. West Caldwell 1-13 and 1-21 in baseball. So West Lincoln and Lincoln will play twice this week to catch up with the other teams since the spring break was earlier. Mike, what you got? I see what you got there. You got my standings.
Yeah, I pulled
right?
up your standings from the paper,
which will be very close.
Yeah,
and if those teams are on spring break, it'll be exactly right. But what you got?
Oh well, there is one. Well, look at the Southern Piedmont 1A, 2A, Burns 9-0, Cherville 8-1. Cherville's now 10-1 actually.
Okay.
Yeah, they won 2 against the best.
Yeah, these are through midweek, basically.
Midweek, yeah. And but they still have one game to play against Burns, and that's going to be on the 28th when they go back to school. So I guess that will decide the.
So they've already played Burns 1.
Yeah, they lost 2-1.
2-1.
2-1.
Okay, so that could be anybody's then.
Yeah. So
where do they play them at this next time?
That will be at Burns.
At Burns,
this time.
okay.
Yeah. So. Then the next day, I think they start right into the conference tournament.
Does the Leprechaun travel? Mike knows what I'm talking about.
We need to get him over there. But
Fraley Field is kind of let's see, how would you say it for Cherville baseball? Is what's a college or a major league park or something you could the hallowed grounds, like maybe Lambeau Field would be something to because there's a lot of people say there's a leprechaun at Fraley Field
roaming the outfield out there, and
that makes strange things happen in the late innings.
Yeah, the history of Cherville's late inning heroics, comebacks,
and it works. It works for both teams that play there too. It also works for the Legion team a lot of times. That there's some strange happenings.
Seen a lot of them over the years. But the rest of that league looks like East Gas is going to make the playoffs. They're 8-4. Well, they're finished 8-4 and 10-8 overall. They'll probably make the playoffs.
Right.
As a 2A team.
Mm-hmm.
Rest of the league, really struggling. Shelby, Highland Tech, Bessemer City, Thomas Jefferson. But
yeah,
it's been Gerald and Burns again this year, dominating that conference.
Ned says that Tuesday will be Lincoln at West. Friday will be West at Lincoln. It could be some senior nights, he says, involved there. That is true. Let's see. Mike Painter says Maiden, West Lincoln, East Burke, Newton are the only CVAC teams projected to make the baseball playoffs. Yes, and they're also the only teams that are going to make the baseball conference tournament.
That's right.
Let's see, the baseball playoffs.
Newton Conover will be in there, right?
East Rutherford is, he said, and of course East Rutherford is a 1 seed. Yeah, East Rutherford, we just talked about them a little bit. They've been dominant. Only three runs is the most they've allowed in a game.
Yeah, that's
and the runs they've scored to go along with that.
Well, Dave, you talk about the CVAC. Well, you said Bandy's has not performed up to expectations.
Yeah, I think. I mean, that come from. I'm not saying that came from them.
Right.
That came from them. I talked to some people there and said they just. I wouldn't know. It just never panned out. They just never, because basketball. And they had a heck of a run in basketball.
Oh, yeah.
Were eliminated in the regional finals by Reidsville.
Yeah, great run.
But it kind of set them back in baseball a little bit.
On the other hand, look at Newton Conover.
Yes.
9-3 and 10-5 midweek, 4-14.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, Newton Conover last year, Mike, was either last or near the bottom.
Yeah.
So that's a big turnaround from
I wonder how they did it. Maybe it's a good group coming up from the JV ranks, or I don't know. It just got better.
Yeah. Well, they've got a set of twins, and I can't recall their names right now. Brett might remember. But
Cannon?
They play basketball too, right? Play basketball last year, but they're really good from what I understand. I have not seen them play baseball, those twins, but
I think one of them's committed to UNC Asheville.
Okay. But I think they have made a difference on that baseball team. They've really turned things around because I can't remember for sure last year, but they might have been last year in the conference. But heck of a turnaround to get that program rejuvenated.
Yeah, I was looking for stats, but they don't have any on their Max Prep
right
page. But yeah,
Hey, look at
Owen
that
and Noah Cannon are the twins.
Look at that Western Foothills 3A. I expected North Lincoln and East Lincoln to be up there, but North Iredale
in
Where'd they
baseball
come
and
from?
softball. Have they not made where are they at in the softball there?
There's down 5-4, 5-8 overall.
Okay, so much bigger in baseball. I think they beat East and North both once.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken. So I got a call the other night from a friend asking me, said, how will they decide who gets the 1 seed in that conference?
Yeah.
How do you think they decide who gets the 1 seed in that conference, Mike?
Yeah, I don't know. If it ends in a tie?
Yeah.
Head to head is usually one way they go, right?
Okay, they're even.
Okay.
They split.
Okay, you go down to how they did against the third place team?
They may. I don't know. What if they both lost to the same team?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Shootout at the OK Corral.
You're not giving me the answer I wanted.
Okay.
What do they usually use?
Oh, runs scored.
Mm-mm. If Cherryville and Burns ended up tied, and they what are they not playing a conference tournament?
Oh yeah, conference tournament, of course.
Whoever finished the highest conference tournament.
Yeah.
But that conference does not have a conference tournament. So my guess is, if everything else is even, they're just going to play a playoff game.
Yeah,
head to head.
Yeah,
I would rather it be decided that way than be decided by a flip of a coin or any of that.
Yeah. Why not? If they have if they can get it in.
Whoever can win that rubber match, Ned said runs allowed. Nah, I hope not.
Who is it you're talking about?
North Lincoln and is it North Iredell?
Yeah, they're
will be
both
tied for
8-2.
first.
East Lincoln 6-3.
Yep, North Lincoln, North Iredell. Now, I'm pretty sure East Lincoln and North Lincoln's already played each other both times.
Have they?
That conference has 3 spring breaks, so that schedule is. I'm glad Lavelle Hall has that one to deal with, because they have 3 spring breaks within that conference, and I'm guessing.
Well,
what's
I mean,
the total
they've still got a
games
lot
played?
of conference games to play.
How they going to do it?
I know. Four conference games left.
Yep. Well, you do know that while everybody else is playing tournament, they'll be playing regular season.
Yep,
because they
so
don't
that's
have
how
a
they
tournament.
make it up. Yeah.
And there is a chance one of those could lose along the way, North Lincoln or North Iredell, and that would.
I would say these
break the
top
tie.
4 teams are probably going to make the playoffs. North Lincoln, North Iredell, East Lincoln, St. Stephen's.
Yeah.
A pretty good year.
Yeah. What's their overall record?
11-4.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you don't get in with 11-4,
yeah.
There'll be a lot of good teams left out if 11-4 doesn't.
So they did lose to different teams.
Okay.
North Lincoln lost to North Iredell and West Iredell.
Okay.
And then North Iredell lost to North Lincoln
and East Lincoln.
Yeah.
And East Lincoln's ahead of. That would give.
But North Lincoln hadn't played East Lincoln yet, right?
See, they always in the past they've given that to the team that beat how you did against number 3, then how you did against number 4, and on down. But I've always thought it should be the other way, that if whoever lost to the lower place team should be the one that's the lower seeded. Let's see, Butch.
It looks like they both have a non-conference game.
Mike said East Lincoln is 11th right now. That's pretty good, 11th in 3A.
Yep.
Well, and being in 3rd place in the conference. Is that what you said they are, Mike? In 3rd in the conference?
Right.
Yeah, it says they're 6-3 and in 3rd. East Lincoln
They played a very good schedule, right?
They still got games against.
Everything.
Yes.
They still got 6 games left.
Yeah, which
1 non-conference game against East Rutherford.
That's East Lincoln playing them. Yeah, they played each other.
That's on Wednesday.
They met in the playoffs a couple times, and they were became big rivals. And a lot of people thought, well, they'll never play each other again, but they did. They did. I think both of them respected the other's program enough that that's good matchups for both those teams. A good non-conference matchup for both those teams.
Looks like Lincoln Charter running away with the Catawba Shores 182, eh?
Yep. Who's second there?
Community School of Davison is 9-2. Lincoln Charter 11-0.
Yeah, and Lincoln Charter also leading softball there, right?
They are leading softball too.
Why you got that up? Do the CVAC softball. Okay.
Boy, that's close.
Yeah.
Bandy's 11-1. West Caldwell 10-2. Bunker Hill 10-2.
If I'm not mistaken, I'd have to think about this. Bandy's might have pulled. I can't remember who Bandy's beat this week. Bandy's might have beat West Caldwell again this week.
Did they?
Maybe. I can't remember for sure. But
looks like everybody's got like 2 conference games left, right, in the regular season.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, that's probably right.
Maiden down a little bit this year.
They are.
5-6,
They are.
8-8.
Yep.
Then the Lady Rebels, West Lincoln, 12-8 overall, 5-7 in the CVAC.
Yep. And one thing you got to remember about those Catawba schools, Mike, they've played 2 more games than those standings say.
Right.
Because they played Tuesday, and they also played Thursday.
Played Thursday,
yep.
yeah.
Yep, before
So
Good Friday. So, yeah, and I'm not exactly sure yet. I've got those scores, but they're not with me, if you know what I'm saying. Not sure exactly how that's going to pan out. But I do think Bandy's is in the driver's seat in softball. There. What about the Western Foothills softball?
Well, East Lincoln 8-1, North Lincoln 7-2, Ford 7-3. Look like the top 3.
That's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep. Ford is 7-3.
Yep.
And just looking at the rest of that, how many you think? What does it look like for playoffs? Those three, and is North Iredale high enough to get in the?
No, I don't.
No,
they're 5-8 overall.
Right.
I don't 5-4 in the conference.
Are they fourth?
No, St. Stephen's.
St.
is
Stephen's,
5-4
okay.
and 7-9.
Okay, and that's softball.
Yeah.
Okay.
Southern Piedmont 1A 2A. East Gaston is finished at 11-1. Cherryville, to update that, they're now 10-1. And they got a game left against Burns to be made up.
So they split with East Gaston.
They split with East Gaston.
Yep.
But Cherryville has a shot if they beat Burns. Whenever they play, I don't have a date. They would finish in a tie.
You don't know exactly when that. Okay, you don't know.
It'll probably be the Monday, the 28th.
Ned says, doesn't the East Rutherford versus East Lincoln game also help raise each team's rating for whatever called as? Yes, it does, Ned. RPI, the better teams you play,
Yep.
win or lose, you're probably going to gain some points, and especially if you win that game, and especially if you be East Lincoln right now, because number one team being East Rutherford in 2A. But also on the other hand, East Rutherford gained some points because they're playing a 3A team should they win it. So I don't think either one would drop any points with a loss there. I think they might get a couple, points extra even in the loss. But that'd be a good game to see. Nothing on East Lincoln, nothing against East Lincoln. I think East Rutherford's probably the better team right now this particular year. East Lincoln's got a pretty good record, but they've had some struggles at times. Whether it be
North Lincoln overall 13. Well, let's see. We're talking about baseball, right?
Yes. Yes.
They're 9-8 overall, but 8-2 in the conference.
East Lincoln is
North.
Yeah. What about East though? That's who North.
They're 11-4 overall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but North leads the conference.
Yep.
In the conference standings, and how close is it?
Well, they're tied with North Iredale, according to your.
Yeah, that's right. They are tied. That's why he was asking me how are they going to break that tie.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
right.
That explains it. All right, we appreciate you tuning in this morning. That about does it for us. It's about breakfast time. Got a reservation
get to talk about
put
the
in.
NFL draft coming up next. When is that?
We'll talk
Thursday?
about it next week when it's over.
When it's over, yeah.
Yep. Shador, where's he going?
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Which team has the most pressure? I read somewhere in USA Today. New York Giants have to
Probably
get it
so.
right.
Probably
have to
so.
get it right.
For Mike, Brad, I'm David. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.